What's up, y'all? It's the Ultramagnetic Taboo, and I'm the king of Zumbao, rocking out here on the B Shine. Before I got into hip hop culture, my grandmother was the biggest inspiration to be an entertainer, to really put effort and focus into my dancing, which started when I was 5 years old. You know, I used to perform in her living room. She would introduce me like, from Los Angeles, California, give it up for Jimmy Gomez. And for some reason, the happiness and the joy that I saw on her face let me know that maybe I could inspire other people by what I did, you know, dancing. I got into hip hop culture as a b-boy, breaking, in when I was like 8 or 9, and fell in love with you know, classic movies like Wild Style, Crush Groove, Beat Street, and even breaking here in L.A., which was a West Coast version of that, but it was more poppers more than anything. Boogaloo Shrimp is one of my big inspirations as a kid growing up. So the first thing that I fell in love with in hip hop culture was b-boying. Then I got into graffiti, tagging, and MCing came around in 1993 for me when I was in high school. Some of my biggest influences: Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, Boogie Down Productions, Big Daddy Kane, Special Ed, Jungle Brothers, and even before that, I would have to say probably Houdini, World Class Wrecking Crew, before NWA. You know, and it just, I just loved and appreciated different art forms, especially art forms that best represented me as a kid who loved hip hop. You know, martial arts being another thing that influenced me as a kid. Watching like black belt theater and kung fu theater right after wrestling, right after WWF wrestling, and knowing that I could incorporate martial arts in my b-boying to create a whole new style. I was about, I want to say, 8 years old, and my mom had hired these b-boys from Los Angeles to come to the house to do a show, like a breaking exhibition, and it was for my birthday. And the way they were dressed was really fresh. It was like they looked like something out of a cosmic movie. You know what I mean? Like kind of like how African Bambaataa used to dress back when the Planet Rock days with the Zulu Nation, Soul Sonic Force. It made me inspired to want to dress like them. You know, from the fat laces to the, you know, the crazy accessories, the crazy glasses they had on. They had their, you know, their hats tilted to the side. Even the way they walked, they had like a strut with the way they walked. Everything was always like, when they pointed, they didn't just point. It would be like, bah! And they locked the movement was so inspiring that it made me want to really hone in on my dancing capabilities and really master my art form, which was b-boying. So Kwame, I wanted to mention him by himself, because Kwame, the polka dot era, for me as a high school kid, 89, 90, I actually wore polka dots to the first day of school. And I remember my mom took me to this place called Chess King. And I was like, Mom, I want the polka dot outfit. She's like, the polka dot outfit? Why? I said, because that's, you know, we rock the polka dots. And I remember it came like a 2-piece polka dot outfit. It had like the baggy pants. They were kind of like harem pants. You know how the drop crotch type pants. And I rocked some heavy D boots, the workman boots, and I had not African medallions, but I had like I forgot what it was. It was it looked like an African medallion, but it had something on it, maybe a peace sign or something, right? And then I remember rocking my hair in braids, and it was hip hop culture. I'm a Mexican kid from East LA that moved to the San Gabriel Valley, and there wasn't a lot of us hip hop kids in my neighborhood. So, you know, I kind of got made fun of because I looked different. I had a different vibe, but all I could think in my head was, yo, my favorite hip hop artists like Kwame and the dancers like Scoob and Scrap and Mission Impossible and all these dope heads on Young TV Raps or on Pump It Up or on the Arsenio Hall show are rocking like this, I could rock like that too. So it was because of Kwame that I rocked the polka dots, and I just remember the Boy Genius being a very influential album. I remember will.i.am actually kicking one of his first raps was influenced by the style of the rhythm. Kwame's big joint back then, and I remember he kicked it and he was kicking it line for line, and I was like, wait a minute, that's a Kwame rap. But it's funny how people could influence you, and then you meet them in the future, and they become, great friends. And I'm glad that I could say that Kwame has become one of my really good friends. So thank you, Kwame, for hooking this up. I would go and battle other crews. I was trying to get a name out there and to let people know how fresh I was. You gotta understand, there wasn't a lot of Mexicans doing what I do and what I did back then. It was like Mexicans had a certain stigma of hey, you're acting like a black dude, Holmes. It was like very cholo-esque, very gangster style, or else you were a rebel, or else you were a jock. And I was a hip-hop head. My friends were all black in my neighborhood. It was like 4 black people, and the rest were all Mexican and Asian. So my thing was like I didn't really see color or creed, but I would go and battle different crews, different dancers. Back then it was like freestyle dancing. So that's how I got my rep up, is I would go to different schools and go to their dances and battle them. Well, my mom wanted me to go to school. Of course, she would drop me off at parties or at clubs, and she would wonder like why I was so into going to clubs and dancing. And I would just tell her like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to do anything else. This is my life. I will become somebody because of this art form, because of hip hop, because of me following my dreams and aspirations. And God blessed me with the opportunity. I met will.i.am and Apple in 1992 at a club called Ballistics. At that time, will.i.am was Will 1X, and he was freestyling, battling other MCs, and Apple was dancing in a circle. And I met him through that. We became really good friends, and we started Black Eyed Peas in 1995. Prior to that, will.i.am and Apple were signed to Ruthless Records with Eazy-E. Didn't really work out. Eazy-E passed away, so they had to start this whole new movement. will.i.am asked me if I wanted to be down with this new crew. We called it Black Eyed Peas, and the rest is history. We worked hard, worked our asses off for many years to get to the level where we're at. I would probably say the Super Bowl was one of the big for me as a Mexican American who grew up on football, watching Super Bowls, and actually partaking in Super Bowls prior to me performing. I actually went to a couple of them and had a great time. And then I would have to say performing at the World Cup soccer, that was amazing. Performing in Brazil for 1 million people, that was another landmark. You gotta understand, I had a kid at 17 years old. I had my first son, Josh, when I was a kid myself, and sacrificing being away from him really, it was hard. And even to this day, like when I have to leave my wife and kids, it's difficult, but it's a challenge. But it's also rewarding because of the the big payoff. I don't work as hard as I used to as far as like touring wise. When we first started to really take off, the P's, we were gone 3 months at a time. I don't have to work like that no more. That's like break your back, sacrifice, do anything to try to get your name out there. Now, I'm a little bit, I'm in a very fortunate position where I could choose and, have time with the family and not miss out on very important things. Choreography, b-boying, freestyle, it don't matter. As long as I can incorporate that aspect of me as an individual in every single video I do, because that's important to me. I want people to know, hey, not only can he create music, but he could also dance his ass off. Because I don't care. I in my mind, I think I'm still one of the best ever. If you don't say you're the best, then who the hell will? You know what I'm saying? I practiced over 10,000 hours to master the art form of my dance style. and I've gotten a lot of credibility and a lot of respect in the dance community, and I always give back to the dance community by saying, hey, I love and appreciate it so much that I'm going to incorporate today's finest dancers in my videos. Always give props to the dance community, b-boy community, because that's where I came from. So on that aspect, you're always going to see hip-hop culture through dance. If it's breaking, if it's freestyle, popping, it's always incorporated. As far as music goes, there's a lot of references that I incorporate within my music. There's lines or big ups that I'll do and shout outs in my songs to be able to let people know where I come from and who inspires me. My wife and kids is like my everything as far as like substantial, something that means something in my life, not just monetary. Like anybody could buy a Maybach or a Bugatti, or especially when you're in the music industry. If you got money, you want to flaunt it. I'd rather be able to take care of my kids and take care of their kids and take care of my wife, and you make sure that my family's straight, because they're the people that ground me. They're the people that make me the person that I am today, and without them, I wouldn't be enjoying life. I hope that I could leave an impact where people say, yo, that was one of the dopest performers that I ever witnessed coming out of hip-hop culture, one of the most grounded and humblest human beings, whoever graced the microphone, one of the most entertaining personalities that ever did an interview or got on stage and just created a party. Zumbao means wild or crazy, and that's what I want to present, the movement of Zumbao, and that's a reflection of who I am. I'm like the ultimate party machine. When I get on that stage, I'm going to make the people that got their arms crossed part of it, the people that are in the back that can't hear the music, I'm going to bring them in. It's all about connecting, and I'm the person that connects everybody when I'm on that stage.